When you think you know, that means you are bounded by past, bounded by previous conditioning, bounded and stuck in a limited reality. And when you know that you don't know, you are free, fully liberated from all conditioning. When you know that you don't know, that means you're free. You are free to think anew. You are free to speak anew. You are free to act anew. You're simply free. The next moment opens up itself, and you don't need to know anything about it. So the best place for human consciousness to operate and to keep the ego intact, which always want to know and finalize and fix and limit, define, sort out and concretize. That's a limited me or limited conscious awareness, which we identify or we call as ego. So the ego mind, the false sense of self, certainly wants to know and wants to know that it knows and then just settle down with it. That way it is bounded, because once you think you know, that knowingness or that knowledge is not fresh. It belongs to the previous moment or simply past. So you think you're living in the present moment, but actually you're living in the past, and you're speaking based on a past conditioning. You are acting based on a past conditioning. You are thinking based on a past conditioning. For all practical purposes, yes, this is needed. For an example, you certainly need to know whether you have money in your bank account in order to issue a fresh check to a supplier. You need to know very well whether you have enough petrol in your car before you go on a holiday. You need to know whether you have food in the fridge if you're thinking of preparing a meal in the night. You got to know. Yes. That knowingness should be only limited to for all practical purposes. Means just for survival, existential needs like clothes, food, and perhaps, must state that word here, perhaps medicine in an extreme condition, and shelter. Those are existential needs just for survival. And it's practical that you know something about those practical matters. But life is much greater, much larger. Life essentially is infinite. Possibilities of life is infinite. This universe, there's no limit to it. You cannot put any boundary to what you identify and experience as life. Say right now, right here, you're listening to this audio and you're alive, you're breathing, your heart is beating, and your body is functioning in a particular way. You're alive. Can you put a finite measure to your life? Can you put a score or a fee or some kind of measurement criteria to the life force energy that is running through you? No, you can't. Life is right now, right here, and it's infinite. However, if life, whatever you think as life, is bounded by a linear timeline called past, present, and future, certainly you will feel it's a finite, limited, ever rushing, not enough, not good enough, not worthy enough life. So, do you think you have a very valuable life to feel consistently that not good enough, not worthy enough, not valuable enough, not right enough, not free enough? Do you think your life is worthy of such ideas? I don't think so. Your worth, your value as a human being, as a human consciousness, is infinite. No one can ever put a period to your consciousness, to your ever expanding life force energy, when it requires only a comma at times, just a comma at times. We can't put a period to this ever existing, ever present, ever expanding life. There can be commas once in a while in your life, just a comma in different milestones, different time periods of your life, certainly, and different episodes in which you feel you were stuck in time, space, reality. So remember, about anything in life, except the fundamental survival requirements, if you think you know, and when you think you know, you're stuck in the past, you're stuck and limited to a conditional reality, and you will continue your life in a conditional reality. Past will repeat. It's inevitable that the past will continue to repeat in your life, and you would not feel free as a human being, because in the essence of human consciousness, it's infinite. And when and if and when you begin to know that you don't know in a given moment, you come into that kind of awareness, I don't know, that opens up infinite possibilities of knowing every dimension of life that you feel like paying attention to, or you feel guided to pay attention to. When you know that you don't know, it opens up infinite possibilities of knowing. It's simple as that. When the consciousness itself, you are at all levels, even at the ego mind, surrendered fully and intact, and you know that you don't know. And that's a great place to be. You're free, like a little child. Can you remember as a little baby and as a child when you were growing? You hardly knew anything about life, but still, you were doing a great job. You certainly did make sense out of everything, although you knew nothing about where the world that you came in, what this world is all about. Who are these people around me? Did you know they are your parents from the beginning? Did you know that this is Earth and it's circular and there's a universe out there, there's a sun and a galaxy? Did you know anything? Did you know that it was you? Did you know that you have a mind and a body and you have a name? Did you know that there are Buddhas and Jesuses and Mohammeds out there? No, you did not know. You knew nothing. But you did a great job of becoming one singular cell to a complete human being. And can you remember where you lost that sense of glory and wonderment and that amazing, free, easy, comfortable feeling? Can you remember when you start losing that divine glory, that peaceful, empty, pure mindset? Certainly, after age 7 or so. Because by age 7, you've started developing the discerning mind. And then, by that time, you have too many programs running in your brain. Means you've started knowing things. Means you've started conditioning yourself. Hence, you've started creating limited, difficult, challenging, finite experiences as you grew. Parents took over you, teachers took over you, society took over you, your religion took over you, and you lost your glow, your beauty, your pure consciousness that was there from the beginning. The mind got cluttered, just like a brand new whiteboard, and people started drawing lines and pictures on it. How much ever if someone tried to erase them, the marks will still be there. So then life became difficult as an adult. And when we were kids, life was all possibilities. We never knew how to walk, but suddenly we figured it out. So, what is enlightenment? What is that we identify as becoming Buddhahood, coming into Buddha consciousness and getting aligned with the consciousness? What is it? What do you mean by nirvana? What do you mean by enlightenment and liberation? It's coming back home. Home as into your real self, which is infinite, vast emptiness. And at that place, all what you know is that you know nothing. Hence, in the finite, physical, material, form, world, the time-space reality, such a person who knows they are no longer a person, they are free. He or she is free to think anew, to speak anew, to act anew, and not to collect karma, further accumulated conditioning of the self. This person will not condition. It has liberated from the conditioning self. So now it has become unconditional. Reflect on these thoughts. Knowledge will never lead you to any enlightenment. Knowledge will only make you feel burdened, miserable, and less enjoyable, and perhaps even sick and quite egoistic. It will ruin your relationships, it will ruin your health and well-being. It simply will take away life force energy from you and make you a half-baked human being. Use knowledge just as some tools to just move you from one place to the other, and then you let go of that. However, strive towards a knowingness, simply a knowingness, a new knowingness, moment to moment to moment, something new, something new, something new. That way you are forever living in the present moment. Means you are free. No one, nothing, no social structure, no dogmas, creeds, labels, groups, no person, no ideas about religion or God or politics. Simply nothing. Nothing can come on your way and make you feel miserable. You'll be just free as a bird and free as a newborn baby, because you know that you don't know. So whatever happens, you are just free to perceive it then and there. Whatever happens, it doesn't really matter. Whatever happens, it doesn't really matter. Because at that point, it's a new moment, and you will just perceive whatever that moment brings up to you, and thereafter, it's a new place again. The ability to perceive will expand infinitely. Hence, such a person will be actually free from all suffering. Our sincere wish is that all of mankind be able to come into this awareness. And if they do so, at least the majority come into this kind of awareness within the next 10 to 20 years, this world will be a very different place. You will see happier, healthier, joyful human beings who are not coming on others' way, who are not hurting others, but who are only helping and nurturing each other to grow, evolve, like a paradise, like a heaven on earth. It's possible, because if we were able to imagine such things as kids, it's still possible. And you'll begin to see yourself in the eyes of the others. You will not see separation. You will know your value and your place on earth in a way that it's not bounding, but as an infinite, collective, one united self. May all beings be well, happy, peaceful, free from all suffering, and be enlightened.